Hey, y'all. Welcome to the Sales Chalk Talk Show brought to you by Redcap Sales Coaching. I'm Hugh Little, your head sales wizard at Redcap Sales Coaching and Elite Sales Academy, where you can learn to make selling easy, fun, and profitable. If you're a chiropractor, a realtor, sell HVAC products or services, or run any kind of a service oriented business, you can learn how to serve more people and dramatically increase your conversion ratio, sales, and revenue. Stay tuned and you'll find out how you can take the first step to get started growing your business into the successful enterprise you really want it to be. I'm broadcasting today from Sebring, the very best part of Central Florida. My awesome co host, Jim Hamlin, is in the studio today. He was my co host for many years, took a break for a while, and now he's back. He and Gene McNaughton are sharing the co hosting on the show. Originally from Sweet Home, Alabama, Jim now makes his home in Lubbock, Texas, where he's a heating and air conditioning and plumbing salesman extraordinaire, doing around $2.5 million in sales annually. He's been in the HVAC sales business for around 40 years and also teaches and coaches other HVAC salespeople to be effective and successful in their sales. Jim, what's going on up there in Lubbock?
The weather is being fickle as usual. It's hot one day and cold the next, but it's still a wonderful place to live, and sales are picking up because it's getting hot.
I was married to her, Miss Pickle. Sometimes hot, sometimes cold. You just never. That's the truth.
I understand.
Hey, you're invited to continue making Sales Chalk Talk a part of your learning in 2022 and beyond. Every week, you'll be able to get inside the heads of some of the most brilliant people in the areas of sales, marketing, leadership, business, and success. You can listen to all the past and future Chalk Talks at redcapsalescoaching.com/podcast. Or you can listen on iTunes, and we're just about everywhere else you can listen to podcasts too. On upcoming shows, we'll have a great lineup of guests coming up for you here on Chalk Talk. So stay tuned and learn more and more about how to build your business and your sales. Today, we're most honored to have author, speaker, and mentor Dave Mager with us. Let me tell you just a little bit about Dave. When an injury ended a promising football career at the University of Toledo, Dave Mager had no way of knowing the door would swing wide open to a far more exciting life. Throughout his early career, first as a coach and then as director of operations for multiple chiropractic clinics, Dave grew as a lifelong learner. Today, he is a nationally known motivational speaker who inspires people from all walks of life to break through their comfort zone to reach their true potential. Along the way, Dave has been featured on the Discovery Channel, leading a boot camp for personal growth and development, testified before Congress about America's broken healthcare system, and authored Health is a Journey, a popular book that sold over 2 million copies. Dave's GameFace philosophy emphasizes staying positive while striving for excellence in every aspect of life. And he practices what he preaches, serving as CEO of Mager and Associates, managing several chiropractic clinics, giving thousands of lectures, and honing his professional coaching skills. Thousands of testimonials corroborate his zeal for empowering lives. But Dave's greatest legacy is what his clients accomplish: balanced, passionate leadership through lives marked by deeper impact. Dave owes much of his success to Monica, his amazing bride of 46 plus years. Together, they cherish 2 wonderful children, 7 unique grandchildren, and 1 faithful Labradoodle. Dave's website is davemagergameface.com. And let me spell Mager for you. It's Dave, Mager, gameface.com. davemagergameface.com. We'll tell you what's available to you there just a little later in the show. I think you can tell we're in for another fun, fascinating half hour. So sit down, buckle up, and hold on, folks, because here we go. Dave, welcome back to Chalk Talk.
Thank you very much. I'm excited.
All right, we had a blast last time, and we're going to this time too. So we're going to be talking about sales today. So to start off, what's your definition or your philosophy of sales?
Um, my philosophy of sales is number one, you got to own with certainty and confidence the product that you're selling. Okay. And if you look at the definition of marketing, marketing is not selling, it's making people aware of your goods. So informing people about what you have. And the better you, the more you own with certainty and believability in the product, your service that's going to help, people enjoy a better quality of life, then the better you sell.
I love it. I got to ask, and going off script, of course, as you always accuse me of, I sell a premium product and work for a premium company. How does somebody that doesn't have the access to a premium product, how do they own it with certainty?
They don't have access to a premium. Well, I don't think they, I don't think they'd even be selling in the first place, whatever it is. It doesn't have to be premium. It just knows that the product they have is going to add to this person to some degree, a sense of security or pleasure or what have you. And so, and that all starts with from the top on down. I always tell people when you work for somebody, you got to know what their philosophy is and what their intentions are. And if it's to serve and to help, and, of course you make money too. I always say, when you're on the right track is when, you care more about connecting with the person and making a relationship, and the money just flows first. But, when the sale's in the front, it's more about the sale than the person. The person needs to be connected. So, that's a kind of wide open question. I like it though. Like I'm in the chiropractic and business for 38 years and own clinics, and I'm helping people when I'm quote selling or educating at events and different things is about the quality of health, having a better quality of health and just experience their day-to-day activities and interactions with family and job at a better level when you're feeling healthy. You know how it is when you don't feel healthy. You don't have the energy, you don't have the sharpness. And so if you're trying to tell people about, getting people to come into the clinic, you're trying to represent health and you don't look healthy. It's a contradiction, right?
That's right.
How fair would it be to say that if you are not able to believe 100% in your company and the product or service that they make available, if you're not able to do that, that you just need to go find a company that you can sell for where you have that level of confidence?
Exactly. That's what I would do. I'd first though investigate why don't you have that level of confidence? Okay, there's the why. No why is no comply. I say it all the time. So basically, sometimes they just haven't experienced the product. For instance, if someone calls and says, my marketer's not doing a good job, I go, well, are they getting adjusted? Well, we haven't time to get them adjusted. So they're not experiencing the product, but they're out there promoting the product. What a contradiction. Yes. Like if he came to me, and I'm sorry, I forget Jim's name again, but and talked to me about air conditioning and stuff, I'd be like, if he's like, oh, I tell you what, when I got this unit, I was just like, it just makes my house so comfortable, the dog's comfortable. And then we have the, blah, 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 and goes through all the features that he's experienced personally. I'd be more apt to listen to him, So I'd ask, well, why don't I believe this? So many times, just they don't, they're new on the block, they haven't experienced the product as much, and they need to know. But if they don't, like I said, I have had people that say, hey, I got money, I want you to work for me, da 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 da. And I interview them. Like, what are you interviewing me? I want to hire you. I go, no, I want to know what your philosophy is, your intent behind what you do, why you do. And if it's not pure motive of serving and helping others, and it's just all about just running people through the process and making more money, I'm like, it really, I've never had to worry about money. I've done very well because I don't worry about the money. I worry about the service and touching lives and helping people. And the money comes after that. So you need to connect with the person. You got to buy the messenger before the message.
Got it. Thank you very much for that answer. Well, now we're talking about sales. There is got to be more involved in sales communication. You're communicating ideas and emotions than just the words when we're with our prospects or our customers.
Okay. Well, there's three things. It's the physiology of the person. They say there's three things. It's the words we say. I think the words we say is like 3% or 3%. I don't know. It's low. the tone now. No, I think it's 17%, and then 38% is so first is the words we say, and then the tonality. But the majority of the sale is the physiology. Well, not only the physiology of the person. I mean, I always get up and when I'm training, I go, and I have my shoulders rounded, my head down, like I'm a poor guy that has like I'm just been beat up by life, and I go, never give up. Winston Churchill's most famous speech ever, and they're like looking at me. And I go, yeah, it doesn't make an impact, right? Then I bring my shoulders back, my head up, and I just look around for a minute with this statue of certainty and power. And then again, so I said, that's one thing. But if I went and I'm standing nice and firm, never, maybe never give up. No, the tonality. And so it's like, never give up. And people just like, you feel that? And people are like, yeah. I said, that's so much more powerful. So same thing with these other people. If you don't look at them and see the nonverbals of the physiology, like they're standing up straight, I mean, or they're, and they're taking notice, and so that's number one. Number two, their facial expressions. It's not the deer in the headlights, okay, but they're really looking. I mean, when I speak sometimes for 6 hours, I read the crowd. When they're all looking at you and they're into you because their facial expressions are, they're smiling when they tell a joke. They're laughing. You see all that. So the physiology, the facial, and then the eye contact. The eye contact's really important. You need to be, as a seller, looking them right in the eyes. Well, if they can't look you in the eyes and they're like looking all around, then that nonverbal is like, it's, and I stop right in the middle. It seems like you're not interested. What's going on? You're kind of distracted. Is there something else, on your mind? You just gotta, and I don't like the word confront. I carefront it. I'm fronting this in a nice way. I'm not being a jerk. I'm like, just by the way, your arms are folded, they're crossed, so that's a closed posture. So your physiology is closed. Your facial expression is like a little like smirk, like I don't believe what you're saying, and you're not looking me in the eyes. So there must, if you're not interested, I understand. And then, so you got to shake them out of the, whatever's going on. It's like, well, so just tell me, just, uncross your arms. I'm not going to sit here and pull you into my booth, or, I'm not going to hog tie you. That's what they say down there in Texas. I'm not going to hog tie you. I'll give you some sweet tea and we'll talk about it.
Exactly.
But then, so you read the person, the nonverbals, okay? And the nonverbals are so important. On that aspect, let me just dovetail into, you mirror the people. I've gotten into so many places to do lectures and do different sales thing when it's almost comical. The one guy I was training said, you imitated this guy completely. We're sitting around a table and he puts his elbow on the table and I put my elbow on the table. He kind of stretches, I stretch. I said, people subconsciously go, wow, that person does what I do. That person, is, subconsciously mimicking, not to be funny, but to make that person feel comfortable. So those are the nonverbals. Now, I can dovetail into one other area for the presentation. There's three important things when you're talking about the verbals to get better nonverbals from the people. There's three ways they learn: visual, and that's why a lot of times pictures are very important. A picture's worth 1,000 words. I'll tell you a great story. I'm sitting there waiting to set up a lecture at this Home Depot and health lecture for all the employees. And this gentleman comes in and he goes to this person I need to talk to. I have a window I got to put in, but it's a round window. It's not a square. It's the first one that has that round arch. And the guy's like, well, all you do is just put the crossman and he's just talking. And the guy's like, and this is where you got to listen to the person you're talking to. He goes, I don't see what you're saying. So finally I got frustrated. What I know, I go, like, sir, and he got kind of mad at me. He goes, I'm talking. I said, just come here 1 second, real quick. I said, the guy is a visual. You're talking, doing the audio, and he goes, I don't see what you're saying. He said, whatever. He got a piece of paper and wrote a little arch window picture and then went cross members there, boom, boom. He goes, oh, I got it. He just spent 15 minutes talking and the guy still didn't understand what he's saying. And then when he drew it, he goes, I see what you're saying. So visuals one way. Audio, how you say, we already talked about that. It's very important to, tell people. But people, listen, if people don't write things down and stuff, a lot of times they forget what you say. So that's why you got to do visual so they can go back on what you went over. And then kinesthetic, the emotional part. People don't make a decision without an emotional state. I'm sorry. If you can't touch an emotional chord in their heart, they're less likely, not guaranteed, less likely to buy from you. So that's where I'm really good at. I'm a very emotional person. I connect really fast when we do these screenings. Like I just did one, and to do a screening, I don't know if you've ever been to a health fair or home show and you see a chiropractor there. Well, if you're there for 3 days and you get maybe 10 or 15 people, you're doing pretty good. I signed up 74 people, 74, and they paid $39 to come in. Yeah, I know. They all paid $39 right there. You can get a lot of names, say, oh, yeah, I'll call you, and they're blowing you off. Why? Because I connected right away with them. And my posture's not, and I was training somebody, he had his hands, the fig leaf poster, with the hands down the way. And I'm like, no, your posture is very important. Just keep open, keep your hands open, smile, wave, how you doing? And so the posture is important to get people over. But once you connect with them, sometimes it depends. You got to know people have certain space, like you're in my space. But I love touching someone just on the shoulder, like, hey, how you doing? Pleasure to meet you. Shake their hand. And that handshake, you size them up right away, looking them right in the eye. And if they're an expressive person and they're very jovial, or they're right to the point, like one quick boom, shake, that's a driver, and so you size them up if they're very tender too, I call it a fish hand. They're very, scared. So you just back off a little. So people, you got to match and mirror them. But again, once you do, and then you connect and use this and watch them as you go, because we're always wanting about so much outflow, and we got to watch about what's inflow coming back from them, give them time to do it, but also watch. And I'll say, it sounds like, or it doesn't look like you're too interested. What is the problem? Well, I don't know if my insurance, don't worry about it. The special we have, we're going to find out what's going on. And then, so what's the withhold? What are they withholding that's blocking them? As soon as come on, be honest. I've heard everything. And it's like, well, no problem. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I'll sign up. So, but what people do is they get in a script and they're not looking at them. They're just worried about following the script to the T. And they're not looking at all these nonverbals and all these important areas of implementing. You're not going to sit there and give them a test like, hey, take this test so I can see if you're visual, audio, kinesthetic. Okay, wait. So I got to talk this way to get you to buy. So let me talk this way. Or, hi, I got to talk softer because you took this test and you're the amiable, so you're more quiet. So just think if an amiable came up to me and said, hi, sir, what are you doing? Well, what we're doing is this, ma'am. She'd be like, oh, she would just she would crawl up in a ball and roll away. You know, I got to say, well, what we're doing is this, ma'am. Oh, okay. And on the other hand, my kids one day saw me at a screen and said, Dad, you're going to get beat up. I go, why? Well, that guy, this is back in the day, which us older people know. Remember when they wore the bib overalls with the one strap off?
Yep.
Yep. I would go up and actually take the strap. Hey, sir, hold on. Let me put your strap fell off. And he just looked at me, and he's a big old farmer, and he goes, that's the funniest thing I ever heard. And so my kids are waiting for me to get done because I'm going to go to lunch. I go, oh, I know I'm Mr. Funny. Ain't I? How you doing? I'm patting him on the back. Hey, buddy, want to come over here and check out your health? Just for the health of it, come on over. And they go, you're making fun of him. I go, no, this guy's subconscious goes, he's talking like me. I like this guy. And we connect. And so again, this is something that a lot of people, all they're learning is scripts. Here's what you say. Here's what you. No, you got to really look at all these different areas.
Well, you just mentioned script and outflow of information. So how do I prepare the information as well as the inspiration for a sales conversation?
Oh, yeah, that's really, you know what? That's really the key. When I spoke before Deepak Chopra, there's 10,000 people, and I pumped up the crowd. And everybody's like, oh man, good luck to you out there. I go, no. There's no such thing as luck. I go, it's where preparation and opportunity meet. If I'm prepared and have the opportunity that what I prepared for, I will be successful. Do you understand that? And that goes back from my football days. I don't know if you're Texas boys. Well, guess I'm good friends with Brad McCoy, Colt McCoy's dad down in Texas. Oh yeah, good Christian guy. I love him. I mean, we're good.
I graduated from the University of Alabama, so.
Oh, okay. You'll love this. I was going to be pro. I played at Toledo fullback, and guess who I played against? Way back when we did have face masks. Well, I played against Jack Lambert in high school and in college because he played right in there. But I come around at 235, benching 500, and there is a little Nick Saban defensive back knocked down his butt a lot of times. That's why Nick has that little twitch when he's on the sideline.
Hugh, I do not like this guy.
OHIO, go Buckeyes, roll. Yeah, you guys rolled all right last year. Rolled out the door. That's what.
That's right.
No, yeah. Hey, great guy. His wife actually taught at the school where my daughter teaches. My daughter's a math intervention specialist. So yeah, and so anyways, yeah, I played against Nick, and they go, "You're old, man. You played against Nick Saban in college?" Yep.
Wow.
I liked it. That's why I got a knee replaced 3 years ago. But anyways, yeah. So anyways, I don't know. You see, I got all excited.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go back. How do we prepare the information and the attitude? Yeah.
Yes. So I get up in the morning. What I do is spiritually prepare, do my devotions, my Bible reading, and get prepared as far as doing a little workout and consciously thinking, okay, today's, this big seminar I've done for 20 years on Discovery Channel. It's like, I'm ready. I'm visualizing me, being on the stage. Not everything I'm scripted on. I make sure my information that I'm prepared is all ready. And because I don't read everything. I have these little things about, I don't know. People don't care how much you know. They want to know how much you care. And then I just roll off of that. But I make sure I have it all in order, because I'm not anti-script, but I'm not sit there and read the script word for word. That's not a good thing. But the energy is so important. I got to have a lot of energy. I got to make sure I eat a good balanced meal and have a nice sleep the night before. Next is my appearance. I have to, you don't have to have $1 million clothes, but you have to be dressed very nice, not overkill. You got to look at your audience too. What are you speaking? Are you speaking, somewhere where, everyone's in suits and ties, or you're not, but you got to have at least a jacket on, a sports jacket and look very nice, not all wrinkly. Another thing, if you're doing one-on-one selling, like door to door, not door to door, but one-on-one, I know this is a little thing, but it's a big thing. Your breath is so important. Is that we've all experienced talking to somebody in close range and their breath's terrible, and all you're doing is focus on like, oh my gosh, the breath is terrible. It's terrible.
Yeah.
So I mean, you can't have a nice hairdo and all dressed nice and be all energetic and have terrible breath. So that's important too.
And
But
Jim, the alcohol in the bourbon that you drink doesn't do anything for your breath.
no, that's why I drink vodka. It's hardly no
It's,
smell.
well, I was going to mask it with sweet tea.
Sweet tea, there you go. Sweet tea and you got a little biscuit there in your tooth there, buddy. A little sausage gravy there. Yeah. I love sausage gravy. Oh, you're getting me hungry now.
Ooh.
But so your appearance as far as clothes, breath, energy, and just be prepared mentally. It's all between the ears. It's so between the ears. And but your heart, and I'm a guy, I'm mentoring 360. I go, it starts with the heart. Your heart's got to be in it. If you ever watch the movie Replacements with Keanu Reeves, they're losing the game. So if we're losing the game of sales, it's like Gene Hackman goes, what's the problem? He has this play thing rolled up and he hits his chest. He goes, it's all about the heart. You got to have your heart in it. So I really prepare my heart to know that when I'm going to go out there, I'm going, and I can already see myself helping. I pray that God brings me a lot of people to, help sell what I'm selling. And really, when I say sell, I'm really talking about educating and then get prepared for the close, because that's the worst thing people have trouble with is the close. They don't want to close. They think as long as they just tell the information, they're going to go, hallelujah, I want it. No, you got to bring people to that line and be, prepared with this energy, enthusiasm of like, listen, so basically, do you want to stay here? Or do you want to, check it out? One of my famous lines, check it out. You have nothing to lose, but your problem. I mean, hey, come on. And so they're like, you're right. I need to check this out more. I need to purchase now, whatever the close is, but you got to say it. It's for their benefit. And when you are prepared to know about the close and not close on your back, to close the deal, I mean, with that energy, enthusiasm, and confidence, because a lot of times people, and this is a very good compliment. They said, sometimes, as you can tell, I'm a little ADD squirrel, but they said sometimes Dave doesn't even finish a sentence. But one thing I know that you can feel from when he talks is he believes it 100%. Yep. He believes it 100%. So they see that certainty that I believe it 100%. And again, the hard, not the hard thing, to realize one thing when you're selling, people are less likely to be vulnerable. They have that public face on them. They don't want to show that they have, what it depends on what you're selling, of course. Mm-hmm. That they have a need, that they need this. They think they're okay. They have that ego, which is not a good thing. They have to be open. And sometimes you got to go deep. I'm always saying, if you go deep and steep, you'll reap and keep. So you just got to dig deeper. Like, well, it sounds like you really want this, but I think there's something deeper going on that maybe is holding you back. And I always say, just be honest with me. It's you almost feel like it's like your mom or dad talking in. You get the cookies out of the cookie jar? No. Oh, come on, be honest. I was like, oh, geez, yeah, okay. So that's what you're doing about preparing. Energy, appearance, whether it's clothes and your breath, but I'll always be prepared to have all the information you need to refer back to at hand, not like, oh, wait, I think I have something here in my, and you got all these papers. You got to be ready to say, boom, here it is, boom, 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 and not be fumbling around, because you fumble around, you're going to fumble just like a football, unless you're playing for Alabama. Sorry.
Correct.
Folks, we'll be right back with our very special guest, author, speaker, and mentor, Dave Mager, and talk more about sales and success. We want to encourage you to visit Dave's website at davemagergameface.com. You'll enjoy and profit from some really cool videos of Dave giving you information about how you can succeed. You'll find a store where you can purchase some inspirational posters to hang on your wall so you can get fired up every single day. Dave's coaching and mentoring can provide value for any business, and he specializes in working with chiropractors. Some of the valuable and useful areas in which Dave can help are empowering personal growth, increasing referrals, removing growth obstacles, growing practices through marketing, empowering staff growth, improving communication, one-to-one coaching, and getting your game face on. As you can tell from the first part of the show, Dave is a tremendous speaker and is in demand all over the world. So, as you're planning your next virtual or in person event, contact Dave and have him do your keynote. He'll delight your audience as he educates, motivates, and inspires them with value and humor. Some of his topics include empowering personal growth, knowing your worth, finding your purpose, reigniting your passion, recognizing what's holding you back, improving your attitude, developing leaders, and getting your game face on. So go to Dave's website at davemagergameface.com right after the show, or you can even pause the recording and check it out right now and take advantage of all the good stuff there. I promise you'll be really glad you did. Now, if you leave to look at the website, be sure you come back and listen to the rest of the show, though, because Dave and Gene have some more great stuff for you. We're back with our very special guest, author, speaker, and mentor, Dave Mager. Again, Dave's website is davemagergameface.com.
You were just talking about afraid to close. I would like you to maybe elaborate on that, as well as how to, when to, and why are salespeople afraid to ask for referrals as well. Because I would imagine in the chiropractic business, very much like the heating, air conditioning, and plumbing business, referrals are a really, really nice thing.
The best patient has a referral. I'm sure the best person for you is a referral. Like, we had a lot of wind damage. We live on a lake, and so we might get a roof. And the guy says, "Hey, I tell you what, we take off $1,000 off the price," which, I'm like, okay, if you put a sign in, so once we get one house, we end up getting 2 or 3 houses around there. Well, now your return on investment, you just tripled. But getting back to saying about the close, I'll tell you one thought on that. People, that's why they're not going back to nonverbals. When you see them, you can see them like, okay, I got it. But if you keep going on, you're going to kill the sale. It looks like you're ready to buy. Yeah, let's go. They don't want to hear, especially that's where you know the personalities too. A driver's like, hey, I'm either sold, you keep talking, you've lost me. Okay. So you got to know when to close. And you know why they don't like to close? It's about your self-esteem. You don't want to be rejected. Let me tell you something. I tell everybody all the time, they're not rejecting you. They're rejecting what you're telling them. So don't take it personal. Okay. So getting back to don't be afraid to ask for referrals. We always focus. We think, oh, that person didn't buy, and so you think, boom, you've lost it. No, you say, well, by the way, I know you don't want to buy now, but do you think there's anybody else that, after hearing my information, would be interested? Because our business is built on referrals. We like keeping it more on a referral basis because we appreciate you. Because your friend Tommy told me about you, and I'm sure you have other friends like you that might be better at this time to do what you're ever selling. And so don't just focus on the person, number one, that you're selling to. Focus also then on the person's circle, their inner circle of the people, friends and stuff, and then follow up with the referrals. Names and emails. Nowadays it's really good with emails. You're not going to get a phone call, but and you let this person know that, hey, tell these friends, these names you gave me, that I'll be calling, that you think they might be interested, and then tell them your experience, talk with me. Because I always say, no matter if you sell or you don't sell, you always leave a PMS, positive and memorable. PMS. I'm sorry.
You were talking about Hugh PMSing all the time. I know.
I know. Well, you know what I usually do? I usually say PME, and then it's not PMS, but so I messed up. No, yeah, PME, positive memorable experience, not PMS. Okay. I had that last week, so that's okay.
Well, Jim was right. I am a positive, massively successful salesperson. So
there you go.
Good recovery.
There you go. Good. And that's what I meant. I meant positive, yeah, mastery in sales. There you go. All right. And please, I apologize. I didn't mean to offend anybody. Okay. I just made another squirrel went in front of me. So I just got sidetracked.
Squirrels and shiny objects. You and my
shiny
wife.
objects. Yeah, definitely. But anyway, so yeah, do not be scared to ask for a referral, because here's what happens. The person that doesn't, is not going to probably buy or whatever, what they feel bad they didn't or they couldn't, but they're more than happy then, like, this guy was so nice, I'll give you a couple names. Same thing though, then when you do sell, please ask for referrals. This offer is good for you and for anybody else in the next 19 days or 20 days or whatever. And then, really, I'm going to tell my aunt about her, my whatever, who. But anyways, so that's a good thing. One of my favorite lines that I came up with when someone was selling me a fence. I live on a lake, and my dog, it was spring. Well, it's spring now and it's snowing, but was out on the ice, and the ice was thin. And I'm thinking, oh, this puppy we just got is going to fall through it. Well, it didn't. So we never growing up had any fence for a dog. We always just, went crazy, without the fence. So the guy tried to sell me it. And I'm like thinking about it. And another person, well, one kind of did scare care, like, oh, your dog's going to die, because we're not a busy road, only when the factories let out down the road there. But so I'm like, don't scare me. Don't try to, scare me in anything. Just be honest. So anyways, I called and said, what happens if my dog would get hit and not die, but break a hip? And they're like, well, nowadays, 3,000 to 4,000 hip surgery, and then the meds they'd be on for 10 years, because it's a puppy. So you're talking maybe in 10 years, you're going to spend around 7,000 or 8,000 on the dog with medication and surgeries. So I thought, okay, 1,500 for the fence or 8,000. So I told my buddy this. I said, when people are thinking about it, here's a good line. Don't think of the cost of doing something. What's the cost of doing nothing? And I said, the cost of doing something for me is 1,500, and the cost for doing nothing could be 8,000. So it's easy. Sign me up. Here's my money. Let's do it. He called me up a week later and said, you know what? I sold 4 out of 4 by using that line. And it's a true line, though. See, it's not a manipulative. It's like, don't think the cost of doing something, say chiropractic care, but think of the cost of doing nothing. If you can get adjusted now before you blow a disc, it might be, $400 or $500 or so. But if you have back surgery and disc surgery, it could be tens of thousands of dollars. And even though you have insurance, now you're cutting and having the scar tissue. So you got to think of the cost of doing nothing.
Dave, you mentioned a little bit ago that when you see a buying signal, it's time to ask for the sale. Stop talking and ask for the sale. And it's equally important to stop talking after you ask for the sale and not say anything until your prospect responds. And one of my very favorite quotes, I don't know who said it originally, might have been Charlie Tremendous Jones. He said, in the Bible, there's a story about Samson slaying 1,000 Philistines with the jawbone of an ass, and there are 1 million sales that get killed the same way every day. And that really is true. Stop talking so much.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're exactly right. And I love that. That's a good one. I got that written down. I'm gonna steal it from you.
That's okay. It's not copyrighted as far as I know.
Right. Yeah, we don't have Samson to come and hit you with the jawbone. So
that's right. Well, Dave, it's been really great having you with us on Chalk Talk again. Before we let you go, like last time, there's one more question, and we always ask this, even if you've been on the show 10 times. And it's interesting. The answers differ, at least in some respects, every time that a person answers this question. If you could give our listeners just one piece of advice that you consider to be the most important in gaining success in their businesses, their sales, their relationships, their lives, what's the one thing, Dave?
Work on you, your self-esteem, and balancing your personal life, because business problems are a lot of times personal problems in disguise. So I have my Facebook, inspire the person, impact the profession. If you want to impact the profession, you need to work on you and your personal life. And I tell you what, when you go out of that house in the morning and you're getting hugs and not tugs, then you're coming out with a little spring in your step. But if your personal life's all screwed up, you're not going to be that effective in your business.
There's more Dave Mager gold for you right there, folks.
Amen.
Well, folks, here at Sales Chalk Talk, we believe in taking action. So go to Dave's website at davemagergameface.com. Check out his great videos. Get your inspirational posters. Book Dave to speak at your next in-person or virtual event. Take advantage of Dave's coaching and mentoring services. Take massive action. Don't procrastinate. Do it now. Go to Dave's website at davemagergameface.com right away. And I promise you'll be really glad you did. I also promised to give you some information about how to increase your business and sales. So here it is. If you'd like to start scaling your sales and revenue, you can have a free sales strategy session with me. Just schedule a time on the calendar at bit.ly/wizard-strategy. You'll also find a ton of information at redcapsalescoaching.com that will help you tremendously in increasing your sales. Jim, what closing comments or smart remarks do you have before we can get off?
I gotta let you know, Dave.
Yeah.
You remind me so much of my wife, because it's all about squirrels and shiny objects. And by the way, she is a phenomenal salesperson as well. But man, keeping her on subject is like keeping you on track. It was fun.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I know. It's crazy. I mean, people all the time goes, man. I get this. One guy after my seminar, he's from Sweden, could barely talk English, and said, and basically what he said, I always try to imitate. I don't know Swedish accent. I didn't know a thing. 10 words you say, but you changed my life. Because of course my energy and my facial expressions, that's why nonverbals are good. And the tears that come from my eye when I show my beautiful wife of 48 years that I met 52 years ago in high school, and we're still married, and we have a daughter, a teacher, my son's a preacher, and I'm a speaker, teacher, preacher, speaker. We're all got 3 rhyming things. And I got 7 beautiful grandkids, 1 from Nicaragua, where my son does mission work, 2 from Ohio, my daughter. So I got 7 grandkids, 3 adopted, and I'm too blessed to be stressed and too annoyed to be disappointed. Bam, I'm a rapper, so I do that on the side on the weekends.
Well, Dave, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to come and share all this great stuff with us and with our audience. And please come back again sometime really soon and do something similar.
Oh, I will. There's a lot of stuff I have. You got issues, I got tissues. I got tons of sayings. Everybody's like, we got some more saying? And come on, let's play. I go, I don't play. I'm like a Kmart VCR. I don't play.
Well, folks, that's about it for today's Sales Chalk Talk. We'll be back soon with another awesome Chalk Talk. We hope you'll join us then. Until then, make it fun and make it profitable. So long, Dave. So long, Jim. So long, everybody. And good selling.